hottest radio station on the net, period. Once again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in today with us. We're halfway through the week. Blessed as always. Now, without any further ado, we've been looking forward to this for quite some time now. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite topics and subjects, also with one of my favorite people. And now they're working on one of my favorite series as of new. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome to you to the show, actor, writer, director. He does it all, Mr. Thomas Jeff Hennessy. How you doing today, man?
How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing
good. Doing good.
I'm doing good. It's not as warm as it is out there where you at, but it's good.
Well, we're out here in Cali. Actually, I'm with Whitey right now.
Oh, really?
Right now.
Oh man, that's good news. Tell him that first of all, the world says, everybody out there global in the whole wide world says hello to you, Jeff, and tell Whitey the whole wide world says hello to him too.
I will tell him.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely, man. Now, but before we get into to the series itself, kind of give the people an idea of where you began in the industry, just how you started out and how you knew this is what you wanted to do. Did you start?
Sure. Sure. How I started was I'm from Boston, obviously, and I started out with doing some movies actually right out of the block, some small roles. People say I had a look. They said I was sort of natural, so I did some small roles in movies. Mm-hmm. And I went out to there's something called IMDb. It was a challenge for acting, comedy, and everything. Mm-hmm. And I actually started by doing that, and I got the bug. And then somebody turned me on to, I was doing monologues, somebody turned me on to a coach called Ted Kazanoff, who was the judge in Law and Order, who was a ruthless coach, who's deceased now. But I sort of always loved challenges. I was an Olympic, I qualified for the Olympic team in '84. I'm a kickboxer, and I always liked challenges. And this was the thing. I thought one of the hardest things in the world was to act without it being, being natural, and try to act as natural as you can. But like they say, acting's not acting, so when it's really natural, that's what you wanted. So I don't know. I just got the bug then, and I didn't come out to Cali until 5 years ago from Europe, and that's when I bumped into Whitey. But I would say I caught the bug. My mother was an actress, but I caught the bug late in life. So I've been doing this about 14 or 17 years. Oh,
okay. But you like you say, you was into sports and different things like that, a lot of athletic things. So you was already doing kind of like the tough guy mentality thing already pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I was a fighter. I lost my parents in a plane crash when I was 15.
Oh, man.
And I was an orphan. So the way I look at it is I had two ways to go. I either get into drugs and alcohol and kill myself, or, I know it sounds sort of straightforward and black and white, but that's the way I look at it.
It's real. Yeah.
I get into athletics, and I take the other roads. So I got into athletics, not to say that I didn't have my bad boy side, but I got into athletics, like you say. I hung around. When you're a fighter, you rub elbows with a lot of other fighters who, are doing collection and stuff like that. And I fought in New York City, and back in those days, there weren't that many guys around. Everybody knew everybody, so if there was something that needed to be done, it got accomplished.
Right. Look, man. I understandable too, and and that's real life. That's real life.
That is real life.
Now, okay. Before you started working on that, because you also did some writing, or did you write the series Whitey? Are you the only writer, or are there other writers that help you? Or
no, I'm the only writer. But how that happened was, it's sort of a strange story. How that happened was, I was a philosophy major. I have a degree in philosophy and psychology from the University of New Hampshire, and people used to ask me to write papers for them, and they give me some money. So I used to write papers for people, all different subjects. Like I wouldn't even know the subject I was going to get. They'd throw it at me. I'd research it and then bang it out. So I've always written, but I never wrote anything like this. I wrote a book about my life, but never published it. So I've always been writing on the down low, but never really out front. And then, to be honest with you, I just saturated in Hollywood with, casting agencies, they get, just trying to make money and tell you they're going to give you a part. I do commercials and I get some parts, but you got to make your break. So I figured take my writing, and I just wrote it because I didn't want to wait for a writer, and all of a sudden people were liking it, and then I really got into it. Actually, right now it's become a passion, the writing end of it. Yeah,
and you know what? Doing that too, it also works out like you say. Instead of going through so much casting, which a lot of people out there do that, but it makes it so you can listen. You have to be able to write a good story when you're telling a story that you're really into and one that you love anyway.
It's a good point. Good point. And that which brings up the point with when I'm acting my own writing, it's close to home. Oh, and I'm a firm believer in keeping things close to home. It gets the best result.
And you know what? Yeah, and I, watching, of course I watched the episodes. I had watched a couple before, but then I pretty much went back and watched them all. And you're playing that role to the T. I mean, you got the coolness. You got the coolness. You're sitting back, the whole head thing going on. Is that your natural? Look, is that your natural hair? Is that your natural hairdo all the time?
That's my natural hair.
Oh man.
That's how I came out of the womb with a masterpiece, as they say. My friend used to make fun of me as a bodybuilder. He goes, Hennessy's got a masterpiece. And I just always had this hair, man. And, I see guys my age with no hair, and I'm like, you know what? I'm lucky.
Right. Now, look, listen, you guys took a really interesting story. I know everybody out there, or most people out there that follow this kind of stuff, knows very well who Whitey Bulger is and the inspiration behind this story. And honestly, I've seen so many pictures done before about infamous mobsters or so on and so on, but this is sort of untapped. It's still, even though this was a few years ago when he got caught, this is still somewhat of an untapped situation. And you guys are in a wonderful position, and we all have to thank you for doing this because you're one of the first that are bringing this to light. How does that feel?
Well, you said that I have goosebumps as you said that. We are the first out of the blocks, and that was my vision. I said, everyone's like, let's wait, let's do Kickstarter, let's do this. I don't know why he doesn't do Kickstarter. I say, no, let's do it now. We'll do it on a shoestring, but let's do it now. I want to be the first out of the blocks. And Whitey being on the run for 16 years, I mean, I could write this for the rest of my life and still have stories about it. Because he hasn't said what he did. And then at the same time, Death coming out with the movie in September 15, we are so into this. We are so well researched and so into this. I challenge Jack Nicholson. I challenge him to compare his acting in his role in Departed of Whitey with Donald Watson in his role of Whitey. There's no way Jack Nicholson touches Donald Watson. I'm sorry, I know that's a challenge, but I'm putting it out there. Donald Watson owns Whitey.
You know what? I respect your heart on doing that. You know what I mean? And you're right, though. I mean, look, when I watch him, when I watch Donald in this, he's got that anger. Is it natural? You guys just have the natural look to it. He looks like he's mad anyway when he's playing Whitey.
Mad anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he's from Charlestown, and Charlestown is what the town was made after. Affleck, the town actor. And I'm from Wellesley, but I lost my parents as a kid in the plane crash. So I moved all around. I wasn't brought up the happiest kid in the world either. I mean, the way I look at this, the way I liked Whitey was the guy's a romantic. They experimented on his brain with LSD in jail in Alcatraz. I mean, this guy.
What?
And he comes out of romantic. The only thing he says when he's arrested is just don't put Catherine away. I mean, this guy is a very unique criminal. I mean, yes, he's a criminal. Did he get a bad start on the blocks? Absolutely. Did I? Absolutely. Did Donald? Absolutely. So we relate to this guy. We don't condone what he did, but we're all not just black and white, good or bad. Everybody is marbled and complicated. So I sort of sympathize with the guy's position he's in, and I love him as a character. And as you said, I mean, it's so interesting. We could go on forever on this, but it gives me creative license to be a little bit creative and go a little bit out of the box with it too, right? Because we don't know what he did for 16 years. We don't know whether the CIA CIA was using them, the FBI was using them, and that gives me a lot of room to write.
You know what? That is a seriously good point you just made. And obviously, with you being the writer of this, you obviously thought this all through ahead of time. But, and you know what? I almost hate that you had to give that away, but that is a very good point. No one knew what was going on for all of these years, so you can go any way with this. You can make this story as amazing as you want it to be.
That's right. That's right. And Whitey's not going to say anything, which, I respect that. He's not going to say anything. And another thing is, Whitey's, you have the Stephen Weeks, the Howie Winter, you've got the McGonagalls, you've got all these people that sort of banded together for one group, but they're all separate gangs. I mean, and not only that, you got the Irish Italian, which I'm half Irish, half Italian. It's one of the few times in history that the Irish claimed their turf back from the Italians. Oh, wow. I don't think that's ever happened before.
No.
I mean, there's so many unique things that went on, and the fact that Whitey planted the bug Whitey's crew planted the bug in the Angiulo's restaurant that brought them down. I mean, you got a criminal with an FBI badge. I mean, there's so many things that, like you say, Keith, there's so much fun to work with, and we're not going to stop. We're not stopping.
Right.
We're going to shoot on. We got boats to shoot on. We're going to shoot on yachts. Our momentum. Don always says it. He goes, the big rock is rolling. We're finally moving the big rock. We're starting to get some notoriety here. We're not stopping. And
it's gonna snowball. That's the great part about it. There's no doubt on my mind that everybody's gonna pick up on this, and it's gonna be a hit. Honestly, you're in a win-win situation here, Jeff.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know it. You know it too, don't you?
We do. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't know it as much when I started writing it as much as right about now. Right about now, you know when you know it? When those friends come out of the woodwork and start sending you emails, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Then you know it.
Right.
Hey, where we guys before? But that's okay. I can deal with it. I got a hard life. I understand the difference. But and also we got some great actors. We've got Jason Oliver coming on board from Stand By Me.
Oh man.
Who was a famous, very good actor. We got John Savage from Deer Hunter, De Niro's friend. We've got D.M.V.KeithHarris from Bones. So the second season is going to be packed with a lot of heavy hitters.
Wow.
We'd like to get Mickey Rourke. We'd like to get a lot of other actors on this. John Voight we'd like to get too.
Yeah. You know what? And that's a star lineup already as it is, and it just fits right. It fits right in with you and Donald. Now your character in the movie. Okay, I believe you're playing now. You're playing. Well, tell the people about your character in the movie, and then I'll ask a question I'm going to ask afterwards.
All right. Well, my character is actually based on a guy by the name of Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick is a guy who never gave up. He was the one guy who was going through the same turmoil that I'm trying to portray is going on in the series. He's always the guy that never gives up. And it gets to be the point where Connolly and everybody else who are the head of the FBI, they're so adamant to keep their ball rolling and to keep the corruption going that they keep him at bay, but he never gives up. Where are the bodies? I don't trust Whitey. Where are the bodies? How come? So it reminds me of sort of me in life. It's almost like being in Hollywood. Like, I'm gonna make it. Right. Like the train. I wish I could. I wish I might. Right. So this is a guy, and I've already looked at it. Depp has a character called, I forget the actor's name, but he's got a guy playing Fitzpatrick in his movie. And I didn't do it. I did it before I knew. But my character is the kind of guy, the tagline is integrity has a slippery slope. Right. Well, my guy is the guy that's trying to bang that integrity forward. Yet you're going to see in the future that I'm also human. I can't hold a marriage together. I don't understand women.
Right.
I'm not great at relationships, and I take that from myself, to be honest with you. I'm taking that from my life, and Donald's taking things from his life, and we're trying to make our characters real, because we think the audience can relate to that, divorce, court, all that kind of stuff, because that went on, too. Right. So within a character, the backstory, and that's what we're doing. Anybody who's a good actor and who's respectful to us, we're building a backstory, because that would happen. People would have backstory.
Right, that's what.
So again, it gives me a little bit of creative license, but at the same time, I'm not losing sight of the fact of who Fitzpatrick is in this, the big picture.
Right, because they're throwing some, you know, without giving a lot away, but they're throwing some pretty heavy package deals at you to test your integrity, I suppose, right?
Right, yeah. Package is one way to put it. Yeah, 36, 24, 36. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of package. Yeah, that I'm sure it did happen. Now, that's not, you know, documented, but I'm sure it did happen. And that's why Fitzpatrick it has to be the kind of character. You know, I've got a wandering eye in one series, but that's because my wife and I, or my living girlfriend and I, are getting along. We have a kid together, but I have a wandering eye.
Right.
But when you'll see the next couple of series, I'm tested even more. And you know, somebody's got to have integrity in this thing because the whole town is like whacked out.
Now, obviously, I'm assuming there's going to be quite a bit of some shooting going on. Some people are going to die. There's going to have you like, oh my goodness, no, he didn't. You know, he's out of the film now. Like, you know, there's going to be bullets flying, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And cars blowing up.
Oh man, everything we love in a good show.
Yeah, we just got a new camera it's a helicopter. It's got four propellers, and it's a drone camera, the newest drone camera. So we're bumping up. So whatever people are seeing in terms of the quality of the film is going to go up to theater quality. It's good already, but we're going better.
Right. Now, after you guys shoot a series. Now, with each episode, I'm not sure how long it takes you, but how do you all know when that particular episode is complete? How do you know when you're satisfied? You get that feeling to say, okay, this is what we want. Is there
You know what, Keith? It's just the way you know when I'm stopping to speak and you start to speak. I noticed that we got a really great cadence here.
Right.
It's just a gut feeling. Like myself and the cinematographer, he's a Russian guy, and he doesn't speak perfect English, and sometimes we don't even talk. I know when he's got enough angles, or I'll say, let's do one more wide shot. So I'm starting to, do part of the editing too with Noel and I and the cinematographer. We're involved in the process so that we just feel it when it's ready. We're getting to the point where we're working together so well. We know when we've got a good shot. We know when we've captured a good moment. And the better the actors that are there, it's just something that it's like the boys know the boys on the basketball court. Like you don't even have to know the guy's name, but you can play the game really well. It's the same thing.
Right.
We just know. We just feel it. And the longer you do it, the more in the groove you get. And that's right now. It's just we're in a zone. We're in a zone right now.
Oh, okay, and you know what? That's amazing. With the different actors and actresses that you guys bring on, in a film like this, most people they're ready. They want to play it because it's that piece of the inside that everybody has. Some people don't admit it, but deep inside, everybody wants to play roles like what you guys cast for. Has it been difficult with the actors? I know for the most part it's been well, but have there been just days that they're hard and you guys go, look, we got to do this again, or we'll try this tomorrow? Do those things happen to you all?
Well, it's been difficult, but not in that sense, because when I'm on the set, being a martial, I own 15 martial arts schools. I'm an ACB platform. So in terms of once we're on the set, it's all business, and that part is hard. What's hard is the cancellations. I just had a guy relapse on drugs and alcohol or whatever it was. I don't know exactly what it was, but not show for 2 scenes. It's more the before and the after. During is okay, but and as we do more episodes, if we're getting the prima donnas that think that they should play the role, or a little bit of the cat fighting within the women.
Oh man, I know that.
That's not that. That to me is more the people that are delusional about how good they are. Too.
Yeah.
The way we look at it is, somebody said this. It was a producer that watched it. He said, we really like what you're doing. Never forget to just keep true to your character. And I love that I forget who said it actually, but that's what it is. If everybody stays true to their character, not their ego, that's when you produce a good product. But when you get too, like even Donald and I, we listen to each other's comments all the time. He'll pull me away, I'll pull him away. And we respect each other because nobody's there 100% all the time. Nobody, I don't care who it is. Yeah. And another thing is, we don't listen to people's reputations and IMDb pages. F that. I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore. What matters is, on that moment, at
You know what?
Come ready.
You're right. You're right. As a matter of fact, sorry to cut you off, but you're right with that. Getting into the game, in the industry myself, just doing what I do. At first, I used to hear about IMDb, and okay, that was cool. I used to try to get to IMDb as quick as I could, but then I realized too that is a good point you just made. What matters is what you bring to work with you on that particular day.
Right. I'm sure people look up the IMDb. My page is so far behind. I have 15 movies that aren't on there.
Yeah.
Like I'm terrible at doing it. I look like a chump on IMDb. But you know what? That's exactly my point. Right. Check out Whitey Webster's tell me if I'm a chump.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. It's like I come ready to do work. I'm ready to go. Donald's the same way. Mm-hmm. We both said it. It's when we're on our game, come to play with us and come to dance with us. Well, it's not a challenge or anything except for Jack and Johnny Depp. That is a challenge. Right. But we're not challenging our fellow actors. We just want the people to be present. Just talk and listen and be present. IMDb, the best, Vito D'Ambrosio was just in a scene. Mm-hmm. And I have to toot this guy's horn. He is such a professional actor. He's on Bones and he's on Flash. And this guy comes to work and he's a blast. He comes happy. He's funny. He knows when action is action. He's got taglines ready, and then he goes home. What? I mean, that's professional. Whereas instead of a lot of long stories, but like you say, I don't know who you are. You just met me. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to view how this interview went. This guy was professional. He was on the money. Mm-hmm. He knew the questions to ask. Great interview. I base it on that. So there's a lot of talk, as you know. There's a lot of talk out there.
Oh,
but
man.
At the end of the day, it's like, how did it go? How does it look? How do people respond to it? That's what's important.
Absolutely. Going back to the situation of like the cat fights and stuff like that. You know what? That's got to be still interesting. I mean, it gets in the way of work. So on the professional side of things, that's obviously can be a downfall. You want to get things done in a timely fashion, but at the same time, once again, just behind the scenes, that also shows you guys are doing well work on there, because it's interesting. Listen, when you can go to work and sometimes have those controversies and those cat fights, then I guess in a kind of backwards way that shows enthusiasm a bit, kind of like people are jockeying for first place.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah, it's flattering in a weird way. It's I should be flattered, or we should be flattered. Another thing I was going to say is, as a director, my directorial debut and Donald's as well, in anything of this magnitude, it's interesting that when you're doing this, I've learned a big lesson. Never underestimate small moments. Because sometimes things can look like a mistake, and they can be the best thing that ever happened that day, the small moments. Like a mistake can turn out to be an ad-lib that can turn out... And even like ad-libs. Ad-libs can be the best line of the scene if they're done with the right spirit and motion. So even the cat fighting and that, even some of that, if it comes through in the energy of the scene, sometimes it works. Whatever works and makes it a better product is what we're after. So I learned to not sort of poo-poo anything or go, oh, that won't work because I didn't write it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when people come out with something, it's actually money. It's money. They're money seeds.
Right, and so sometimes you might have wrote something and then you look at it and say, how often, probably don't do it too often, but are there times where you might say, okay, you know what, I wrote it this way, but this looks good, I think I'll do it this way instead.
Right, just like taking the ego out of it and just going, saying it down, what do you think? Well, actually that worked, okay, well, let's just do it that way. Right. I think people, just a little bit, I mean, it's like being a team player. It's like, there's a guy, the soccer player, take the ball all the way up and score, and you pass the ball. Like, in order to make things work, you've got to drop the ego, and that's what we're trying to do. I mean, of course there's ego involved in it, of course, but we try to drop the ego as much as we can.
Right. Now, this is just a question about the business that you're in general, and I hear, a lot of people, they're different opinions. But you guys are masters at your craft, and you've found you're filming a story that you can relate to, but so it might not affect you, but people tend to say that the business that you guys are in, or the film business, even the business I'm in, that it's not a fair business necessarily.
Right.
How what's your opinion on that?
I agree. It's not fair. It's not a fair business. I mean, you know, I'll take one example. I happen to be a good-looking guy. I mean, call me an egotist, but I'm not stupid. That's an objective thing.
Right.
If I look at it that way, I'm lucky because people will then listen to my acting and watch me. But there's so many people out there that aren't the best-looking people that I think are great actors, and that's sad. That's not fair. And then there are people out there that, I don't know, Donald and I were talking about today, that are really unstable. Sometimes really good actors are really unstable. I can't work with them anymore because they're too whacked out, but that's unfair, too. It's sad for me because, you know, growing up the way I grew up, I have a soft part in my heart for that. Hollywood right now, like, for example, we know for a fact our next step is to get this message out there.
Right.
We haven't really had the right people see this yet. I'm sure when the right people see it, there'll be no looking back. But we haven't had the money to get it out there. We're starting to get that right now. That's not fair because not the right people see it. I mean, somebody had brought up a good point. Would Boardwalk Empire, if it was on a miniseries right now, would anybody? How many people would be watching it? You know, like there are a lot of things, or even American Horror. I love American Horror.
Right.
But if it was in the wrong venue, would it be as popular? So it's not fair, but I get that because my life's not been fair. I know how to make it happen, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this be noticed by everybody. We're not stopping until this succeeds and the right people see it. Because I think there's way too much talent for people not to see this.
Well, yeah, you know, and you know, on that, standing on that point, like you just said, as a matter of fact, it is not a fair business, but at the same time, for the project that you guys are doing, I don't see the unfairness being able to stop you. Number one, you've got the right team. All of you are strong-hearted, you're motivated, and again, you have a good story. So I don't see you guys in the future really, you know, really crying the story that it's not fair. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was a fighter. I lost my parents in a plane crash.
Right.
Talk about not fair. You know, and I still believe in God. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that might sound corny, but to still believe in a spirit, a higher power, that tells me that I have hope. The not fair part, not much has been fair in my life, but I'm a fighter. You know, so you know, Donald said it to me one day. He said, you know, he goes, "You're viewing this thing like the Olympic team, aren't you?" He goes, "You're going at this just like you're confident." I said, "Damn right.
Yep.
I totally am. Nothing will stop me." And you know, I'm not your average bear. There are people out there that probably think that I'm driving too hard. Maybe I am, but I only know that way. And I'm not going to let the not fairness of Hollywood stop me for a second or take me for a second. We're going forward, not stopping.
You know, I love that attitude, and that's you know exactly my point. Just during the short time that I've been watching you guys, that is exactly the attitude that I see from you all, which is also why I think you are the right ones to be.
I am Fitzpatrick. I am Henna.
Right.
I am Henna in the thing, and I am Henna here.
Right.
That's what's similar. I got my 5-year-old son Max Hennessy in this. This scene came out yesterday. I don't know if you watched it, called Supervised Visit, where I have a nervous breakdown. Did you see that scene?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that came out yesterday. I have a nervous breakdown. That's real. That's realistic.
Oh wow!
And you know, we're not stopping because we want to portray life that way. Life is tough. Life is gonna stop you sometimes. We're not going to be stopped by Hollywood. We're just going to keep rolling. Right.
Now, how, you know, you're writing and you're acting as well. Is there, you enjoy doing both, but is there one that you lean to tend to like doing a little more than the other?
It's funny you say that. You know, I lean to the acting. I mean, it's a drug. When you hear action and you know you're in the moment, like if you see that scene where I have the breakdown, one of the best scenes I've ever done in my life. I didn't know if I could do it. John Savage was there, a lot of pressure. But I just get into the moment, so that it's acting. I mean, I have to say, people say, "Why are you a good director, or you good this, and producer, whatever." But it's the acting. I mean, I have to say the acting.
Right. You know, I can see you saying that too, because I can definitely get the vibe, and just watching you enjoy it. You see it because as I watch you doing these scenes, you don't see the pressure behind it. You're really enjoying this. Like you say, you're bringing it to life. It's your character. It's who you are.
Right. And also some of the writing since I'm writing it, I'm bringing my experiences in life to it. So when I'm acting, what I'm writing is close to home. And that's, like I said before, that's what somebody told me to do. The closer to home, I mean, it's sort of a slam dunk too. It's like it's not fair to the average actor that has to do somebody else's lines, but why not write something closer to life? So it's a slam dunk for actually Donald and myself, because, you know, like I said, Donald's from Charlestown, and we're from that area. We know how it rolls. Right.
Now, how often do the different episodes come out, just so people can have an idea of how often to keep up with it?
We're doing it once a week. They're coming out Tuesday or Wednesday each week. It's once weekly, and right now we've got about 13 in the can that haven't been shown. We're going to shoot another. We're shooting about 10 at a time, once a month. So we'll have another 30. So we're already done season 2, and it's in the can.
So you guys are you guys are really rolling. And look, I believe, because you all have the trailer for season 2 out already, right? I think that's one of the
trailer for season 1, yeah.
The trailer for season 1. Look, the trailer itself was action packed, and you know, I say that to everybody out there, to everyone, you know, listening all over. You know, I've expressed before to go and check this out, to be able to go to the site and look at it. But once you just see the trailer, it captures you already. There's no way you're not going to want to watch this story.
Well, thanks. I hope so. That's what we did. I mean, we put a lot of work into that. And, you know, the reason we put a lot of work into it is, actually, when I looked at it and when I watched it, I was amazed that we've captured violence. I mean, it's everything actually that's supposed to be in a trailer. We got sex, we got violence, we've got intensity, we've got drama. So, I mean, I'm pleased. Donald and I are very pleased with the result.
That's what I'm trying to. You know what, you point out exactly, you know, what I was trying to. I mean in detail. Everything is involved in it, but not just the trailer. It's all in the different episodes too. I mean, you got the guns pointing. You know, you've got the temptations going on. You know, with just, you know, trying to put the women off on you. I want to say that without really giving the story away, but. You've got all of that in there, and there's those dramatic moments, and like you say, Donald is just going bananas in there with the attitude and the whole bossiness.
Yes, Donald Watson is possessed. Jack Nicholson should take an acting lesson on Whitey from Donald Watson.
You know what?
I want that to be totally public, because Jack is a great actor, but I think with Whitey Bulger, he sort of fell on his laurels a little bit, went back to a little bit of technique. Donald is there. T-H-E-R-E there. He is there. When he did that scene along with Mr. Rat, he doesn't even remember what happened. He was so into it.
Well, you know what? And honestly, this is coming from you know, I'm coming from me too. Just even on the look, I would have to say that Donald has a better look for playing Whitey Bulger than Jack Nicholson. To be honest with you, I haven't even. And I haven't even seen the one that Jack Nicholson did, but I can just.
I might even like to see Donald Watson play in The Shining. Here's Johnny Donald.
You know what,
I might even make the challenge bigger to Jack Nicholson.
You know what, he should Donald should do that. Look, I might get crushed for saying this, but Donald should do that, because then I might actually enjoy The Shining, because I didn't really enjoy it.
Really? Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Jack, you can't take it away from Jack. He's a great.
Well, no, of course not. Right.
But I mean, give credit where credit's due. You see Donald's teeth and his eyes and his sight.
Yeah.
That wasn't acting. He was there. I mean, you know, don't forget, we're trying to portray Whitey Bulger. And if you look at the history and the research, and then look at Donald playing it and his role, I'm sorry, he kills it. He kills Jack Nicholson in this.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and like you say, not to take nothing away, but just the look itself. I think Donald's look is a lot more closer to Whitey's original look. You know, is what I'm trying to say. And that's important. That's important, because when you watch a film, you want to feel like, and you're watching that main character, you want to feel like you're looking at the person that they're portraying, and Donald has that.
He does have that.
Absolutely.
He does have that, 100%.
Now, I know you guys are doing a lot of promoting. Please let everyone, all the listeners out there, know where they can go to watch this series, or the YouTube page. You know, where they can, you know, support you guys and all that.
Keith, YouTube.com/Whitey Web Series, one word, Whitey Web Series. YouTube.com/Whitey Web Series. And on that page, on the Whitey Web Series page, we have, if everybody wants to keep this going and is enjoying it, we have a PayPal link where they can do a donation as well.
Okay.
Because the more that we have to work with, the better locations we can get. I mean, we're doing it on a shoestring. It's good already, but we can really do it. Like, we just got somebody to donate their yacht, and if anybody wants to donate locations, that's great too. But anything people can do. But YouTube.com/Whitey Web Series is where they can find a donation PayPal page, or they can also see all their new actors up there too, and some still shots from episodes that are going to come up.
Oh, okay. And that's a big deal. I see it going far, and once again, I stress to everyone to check it out because
Thank you, man.
Right, and to be a part of it, especially because we all know that these type of things become legendary. And Jeff, I'm glad you all have your hands in it in an early stage, and the way you all are doing it involves the people as well. And so I suggest for people to return the support, get involved with the whole project, stand behind it, make your donations, and watch the series. That way you can be able to say, hey, in a way you can feel like you were a part of this whole movement because it's phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal.
That's right. And also we're trying to help a lot of people out there. I'm 14 years sober, Donald's 18 years sober. We're trying to help a lot of sober people that, try to get out of a rut, either working actors or actors at us. We're also doing a lot of sort of pro bono, altruistic things for people who need a hand out there too. Mm-hmm. We're having them join our PA team or even act or things like that. We're trying to give some people chances too.
Right, and being able to give back to the community, that's a big thing. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Listen, Jeff, also, just to let everybody know, if you are not watching it, also when you go to the social networks and the social sites and you're following me, you'll also be able to follow the series as well. Because Jeff, I'm going to start posting, if that's all right with you, I'm going to start posting some of those segments, some of the episodes on my page as well too, to get people involved, because I know they want to see it.
Great, Keith. That would be great. That would be great help. But another thing we'd like to do is, if we do get some donations, we'd like to obviously we're doing a little promo for the person in this month, from now, the 15th of January to the 15th of February. We're going to look for the donations. Anybody who wants to donate, the highest donator is going to have a small part, and they can fly if they're here. If they're here, they can do it here. If they're local Cali, or they can. We can't fly them out, but they can fly out, and I think we're going to give them a small speaking role.
Okay, look, that's good to know. Everybody out there, y'all hear that? Y'all heard him say that, and I'm gonna put the word out there too that I am going to attempt to be you all's competition. So hey, because KeithHarris got to have him a good gangster role, and then hey,
like Cotton Club.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
As a matter of fact, that's interesting you say that, because we're going to do a throwback to 1968, because that's when a lot of the stuff went down. Okay. So we're doing Whitey as a flashback. We're doing a lot of flashbacks too. So if anybody's interested in that kind of acting, just give it. Make sure you go to our page if you're interested in acting and your wallet's a little bit sicker than it should be, or you feel like you can really make a move. Mm-hmm. Put a donation in there, and we'll have you on the set. We'll have you in the scene.
Hey, and what's better than that? Being able to go back and say, look, I was in the new Whitey series. That's a big deal. A lot behind that. Look, Jeff, listen, it's been wonderful talking to you. And, of course, this won't be the last time you'll be on the show. I hope that you come right back very soon and tell us about more. Because there's so much more. There's so many more things that we can get into. We didn't even talk about the girls this time. We'll talk about that next time.
We didn't even talk about the girls.
Oh, man.
That's 3 episodes alone right there. That's 3 radio stations.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I like to know where y'all did. I like to know where y'all did the casting for that one, but we'll wait on that.
You will. That's another thing, Keith. We'll have to invite you to the casting sessions for the girls.
Oh man, look, I'm coming to judge with you now. I'll be out there. All right.
What do you think, Keith? From a 1 to 10, how's the casting going for the women in the series?
11. Hey, look, that's why I had to ask you. I said, look, now, you know, keep it in 100%. That's why I said to you, I go, you know, with the temptations and the things that are going on and the women in the film and what they're throwing at you to try to get you to go.
And I'm single. I don't even have a girlfriend. I'm single.
You lucky guy, you.
I'm a single guy, and I do all this casting, and I've been a good boy. Well, something's wrong with me.
You know what? Hey, look, Jeff, we know you're not telling us everything, but all right, we'll let you get away with that.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure, buddy.
Absolutely, Jeff. We'll be talking to you soon. Listen, everybody out there, everybody out there all across the globe, this is Jeff Hennessy. Listen, tell Donald we said what's up too, man. Tell him we said kudos and congratulations and keep doing his thing. Tell him Jack Nicholson does not want no problems. You know what I'm saying?
Jack Nicholson's got problems. Once down, there's always got problems.
All right. All right, Jeff. We'll be talking to you guys soon, man. All right.
All right, stay in touch, man, and thank you very much.
All right, for sure. Thank you
very
Jeff.
much, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye, Keith.
Oh, man. That was Jeff Hennessy, you guys. Listen, make sure you go check out the series Whitey, all right? Based on the life story of the infamous notorious gangster Whitey Bulger. If you don't know who that is, go check it out. It's a big deal. It's the new thing. All right. Once again, we thank Jeff for stopping through, talking about the show. Make sure you go to YouTube/.Whitey web series. You know, go to the site, make your donations, get behind the film, support it. It's going to be a story that's legend. It is a story that's legendary, and it's one that we'll be talking about in history, next generations to come, as a matter of fact, as always, and you don't want to miss it. All right, so once again, we thank him for stopping through today, talking to the Keith Harris Show, Industry International, where we bring you all the hottest, interesting interviews from the interesting people from Hollywood, New York City, Texas, Vegas, we everywhere. North Carolina, all over the globe. Big shouts out to Northern Virginia and everywhere out there as well too, and all the people involved. All right. Also make sure you go to our website at Hotline Radio, and by going to wearehotline.net. That's wearehotline.net. Get involved with the blog sites, the social media sites, talk to the personalities. Make your donations for us as well to keep us doing what we doing. And y'all don't go nowhere, because we're going to get back into some music. And I'll be back in just a little while with another wonderful writer and director, also actor as well, Nicholas Nielsen, right here on the show, Keith Harris Show, Industry International. Don't y'all go nowhere. Don't touch that dial. And if you need to call up somebody right now and say, yo, go log on to We Are Hotline.